Well, the Super Falcons may have stole the show last night in Group D, but early hours of this morning, Lioness of Cameroon proved how brave they can be, thrashing Ecuador 6 goals to nothing. Well, even also producing the first African player to actually score a hat-trick at the FIFA Women's World Cup tournament. Hello and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Morgan. You're watching Sport This Morning, you're watching channels television. Well, starting from the home front, the Super Falcons register a superb performance last night in a 6-goal thriller. Also, the program, Oge Onanzi demands winning mentality from players ahead of the game against Chad this Saturday. And in tennis, Rafael Nadal wants to win more grass court tournaments after a disappointing clay court season that saw him dropped to 10th in the world. Well, how can the Super Eagles get their winning mentality back against Chad this Saturday? Let's listen to Lazio midfielder Oge Onanzi.
Well, as you have said, it's a new team, and we have new players, promising players, very, very good players. Of course, if you're invited to the Super Eagles, it means you have a talent. And the most important thing is for us to have a mentality of winning. If all of us will have the mentality of winning, I don't think we're going to lose the game. And the new ones that are coming in, we try to give them the most important information they need to know, because it is very, very beautiful to play in the national team, most especially in Nigeria, who loves football. And the most important thing is for us to continue to have the winning spirit, because we don't want them to have the bad side, because when we lose, it's always very, very bad. So we just want to give them that impression that this team is always a winning team, apart from the fact that we lost some important games in the past, but it is something that we have to bring back and bring our fans back.
Well, the only way they can bring back fans to the stadium is actually for them to start winning again after failing to qualify for the last Nations Cup against Nigerians are still not happy with the Super Eagles. But the Super Falcons are putting smiles on the faces of everyone, and last night was one of those spectacular performances. Some of your tweets were really wonderful about the guests. You can also talk to us today on Twitter and of course on Facebook. What do you think about the girls' performance? I don't know if I can be able to read out so many that came in last night talking about the girls, their performance and all that. You can continue to talk to us on Twitter and of course on Facebook. And don't forget Sport Tonight, definitely. We have more time on the program. We'll get to read all your tweets concerning the Super Falcons. Well, Chinese Boy joins me now. Chinese, good morning.
Good morning, Cecilia. How are you doing?
Yeah, how was your night?
Fantastic. Thanks to the Falcons. Although I would have wanted to win, but the way and manner they got the draw, you could say it was a sort of a small victory. But if you want to look at the game tactically, you would say maybe we lost 2 points in that game. But I think they did their bit. Nobody gave those girls any chance. We've been on the show, we've been talking about it on the show, the fact that they didn't have enough preparation. And we've always wanted the Falcons to play top quality friendly matches, not against Mali, not against Senegal, not against
Woodbridge.
Not against Woodbridge. And it showed, when the game started. Apparently, the Swedes had already done their assignment.
Yes,
they already knew how to attack the Super Eagles via set pieces. So you saw the way they always crowded the 6-yard box anytime they had a set piece, and it showed that we were not prepared for it. That was our bane. So my point is that if we had been playing friendly matches, imagine we had played in Norway prior to this game, would have known, had an idea, what to expect and how to defend against those set pieces. But the girls, their fighting spirit showed. Attack offensively, we are fantastic. We have a sister, there's Odega. Ngozi Okobi is a fantastic playmaker, fantastic
match.
A goal and 2 assists, fantastic player. So I think they just need they need more exposure. I think these girls are world beaters. They need more exposure. If they can get that exposure that they need, begin to play friendly games, begin to always be there. Because I was looking at FIFA rankings, yes. And the teams between 19 and 32. I don't think on any given day they can beat the Falcons, even when the Falcons are not at their best. So it shows. Thailand lost 4-0 to Netherlands. So they are I think they are both of us in the FIFA
yes,
ranking.
of course, in FIFA
so come
ranking.
on. So I think if we start playing more friendly games, get these girls more exposed, it will show how good they are, and it will also improve them. So I hope the game against Australia too, they are no walkovers. The Matildas, yes, they lost to the Americans by 3-1, but it doesn't mean that I will go there and run over them. So I think they should also take time again, try and work on that defense. Precious was dropped for the Nations Cup. White wasn't goal, and
you're wondering why Precious will have to
I'm
start
not wondering.
ahead of White.
Sometimes that goalkeepers are with experience, maturing with age and everything. So I can understand maybe why Van Garba decided to go with Precious at the World Cup finals. But apparently, she's a good shot stopper. Her weakness has always been,
she can't really, she won't really know how to
positioning, awareness. And it's not just Precious. Also the defense. If you had seen the second goal from the Swedes, after they had they had gotten the ball off the line and everything, they just started moving towards one direction, everybody, and forgot that there were some Swedish players, still on the line waiting for a rebound. The Swedes, the third goal from the Swedes, the same thing. And Ngozi Okobi, for all our excellent display, it was a lack of defensive awareness because the Swedes
She's a midfielder. Where are the defenders?
Yeah, the midfielders can also, chip in with something. But like I said, good one because of the way the results came about. So I think we just have to hope that they work on the little flaws they have, and come up against the Australians and go there ready to fire all guns blazing.
Yeah, for Coach Edwin Okone actually said, well, it was prayers that actually helped them, and of course they still need to pray more. But against Australia, what is actually aiming is a win, because once they get to win Australia, then the game against the Americans, well, I think we would have qualified for the World Cup. Now, if you look at okay, that's the quote. He said, "I feel okay after our match." The reason he's feeling okay is simply because he felt with Desire Okparadozie getting that own goal, that wouldn't have been the situation at all. Desire Okparadozie, for her, she was really relieved after that particular own goal that she scored. You can see the quote on your screen. What she said after the game, that she felt relieved because if Nigeria had gone on to lost the game, I think Precious Didi and Desire Okparadozie wouldn't have been able to raise their heads up.
I understand, and I liked the way she reacted immediately after getting the goal. She just put her head up and started running back to the center circle to take the kickoff. It showed there and then. I think that was very significant when it comes to the psychology of the team, because of the fact that immediately the goal came in, she was like, okay, you know what, it has happened. In fact, I didn't even know how the ball hit me. It was very unfortunate. It was an unfortunate own goal, and the girls came back, coming back from 2 goals against former world champions. Come on, yeah. It shows a lot of heart. So
not really what I didn't really want to
they were close. Rather, they finished third and they hosted.
If we can even see the records of them talking about Nigeria's World Cup performance, it has not been fantastic at all. Nah. I mean, if you look at the very first appearance, we did not win any game at all, and we shipped a whole lot of goals. But the second one, okay, it is the same group stage. But the third time we got to the quarterfinals, then the remaining ones is all group stage for Nigeria. And at the end of the day, how many games did we win and how many goals shipped in? It was really something you look at, you say, okay, now this game against Sweden is actually a good way to start. Scoring 3 goals in the first game. The Super Falcons have never had it this good. That's why most Nigerians were actually celebrating it and calling it, well, a win for the country. And not only that, the tweet yesterday was like, okay, this is more like this is more like an advertisement for women's football. That's what everyone was saying, watching both games, 6 goals trailer, and how the Super Falcons had that dying spirit. They were not really giving up. Okay, if the records are not coming on your screen, we'll just move ahead and quickly talk about, okay, this is what you have here. In China in 1991, it was a group stage, and in Sweden, 1995 group stage also. United States, a best performance till date, it was the quarterfinals. That was in 1999. United States also in 2003, it was also at the group stage. China 2007, it was group stage, and Germany, last competition, it was also at the group stage. Now, let's take a look at the records, the goals that they scored and the goals they conceded, and also the numbers of games they have won. It's not really close at all. It's kind of off it, because you check numbers of games they've played, close to 19 games they've played, games they've won just 3, that's before yesterday's own, then games they've lost 14, and goals scored 15, and goals conceded, yeah. That's a 50. Okay, that's really not too good for the Super Falcons, but hopefully they'll definitely be able to wipe that off. Now for Sweden, they had a better run for them. In China, the very first edition of it, they finished third, which was a good one for them. And the second one they hosted, they got to the quarterfinals. United States back-to-back, 1999, 2003. Quarterfinals for them, and they were runner-up, finishing second. They couldn't win it. In China, it was group stage. That's then in Germany, the last one, they finished third. You see, they've had a better run, and look at the games they've played. 28 for them, games won 18, games lost 10, goals scored 53, and goals conceded 31. So yesterday they were practically no match for the Super Falcons. But somehow the Super Falcons, like the Nigerian spirit that they have, and with Aziza Toshola saying that they were not going there to donate points, and also the captain Evelyn Nwamboko saying also that look, we are going there. It might be a group of death for everyone, but for her it's a group of life. And of course they came out of the first game. Quickly we look at today's fixture, what is really like. Oh, before we do that, the Cameroonians yesterday, early hours of this morning, fantastic. They were making their debut at the world stage. And of course, they just said, okay, they're still brave enough. And it was 6 goals to nothing for them.
When I saw that they were paired against the Ecuadorians, I was like, the Cameroonians should be able to get a victory from this game. No, not 6. And let's not get ahead of ourselves, you know. You could get to say that the result flattered the Cameroonians because watching the game, the Ecuadorians had 2 red cards, the Cameroonians had 3 penalties, but that's not taking anything. That's not taking anything away from the Cameroonians. It's actually
first time having 3 penalties.
You know, their debut at the World Cup, getting 6 goals. Good luck to other teams that are trying to score 6 past Ecuador. At least that would show that that would help show up their goals difference, you know. So I think they need to try and see if they can get a draw. The other teams in the group, Japan and Switzerland, Japan, defending champions, won the game by a goal to nil. So and the Cameroonians will think, okay, if they could get something against the Swedes, then they might just be able to go through, squeeze through. Because I don't think
Japan and Swedes a lone goal victory in favor of Japanese.
Because I don't think the Swedes will get to beat the Ecuadorians by 6 goals to nil. They will get 2 red cards and they will concede 3 penalties in that game. So the Cameroonians, I like what they did. They took advantage, and that's what happens in cup competitions. When you get the advantage, when it falls to you, go ahead and use it, and they've done it.
They used the opportunity for there. Now the big game for today is actually going to be between Brazil and South Korea. That's the game I will be ready to watch. That's in Group F. Okay, that's it on your screen. You have Group E. You have France and England. There's another big game, Spain and Costa Rica. Group F, Colombia, Mexico, and Brazil and South Korea. Well, this is a cracker. France and England. Well, most of the English journalists yesterday were actually tweeting about the game for the Super Falcons, and the Ghanaians also were saying that they wish their team Black Queens can play like the Super Falcons. So, well, I think all of them will definitely have to go watch that game again and see how they will be able to replicate that for us to have a fantastic night on the games for tonight. Okay, from the FIFA Women's World Cup now, Nigeria's next game, of course, is against Australia. Now, let's just move quickly to the Super Eagles. What the Nigerian players are talking to Balogun, of course, Leon Balogun. Remember, he hasn't really made his official debut for Nigeria. The game he played was actually friendly, so he's really eager and waiting, and he really can't wait to make his debut. Same thing with, well, Trust Ekong, which most people have been saying they don't know where the player is coming from. Well, he is a Nigerian player. Let's listen to them.